stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Early morning, Albouystown fire claims the life of 3-year-old boy. Chief Magistrate rules restart of election fraud case. Ramjatan calls on AG to resign amid failure to appoint substantive Chief Justice and the Chancellor of the Judiciary. And state of emergency declared in Trinidad and Tobago. Government informed of gang reprisal threat. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Monday, December 30 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. A 3-year-old boy perished in an early Monday morning blaze after his mother left him and his siblings unattended at home. Daisy Richards opens her broadcast with the story.
The fire started at about 1:30 hours at Cooper Street, Albouystown, and took the life of 3-year-old Amani Abrahams. The house was occupied by his mother, Tandika Bailey, 28, a clothing vendor, and his other 2 siblings, ages 4 and 11 years old. Bailey left her home for work at around 7 p.m. on Sunday evening on Regent Street, leaving her 3 children at home. She was informed of the fire while she was on her way home at 1:36 a.m. Monday morning. She rushed home and saw her 11 and 4-year-old children after they ran out of the house due to the heat, and the 3-year-old was left behind in the bedroom. Speaking to reporters, a neighbor recalled what happened.
The little child come hollering, help. I lean over. Me see the child up to now. Me I glance at the back and I see the fire in the chair. So I clap my hand like this. Fire.
She claimed in her effort to help, she tried to retrieve a bucket of water.
And I run downstairs, run back, pick up a bucket. Up to now me get a bucket of a drop of water. From then me know nothing.
The fire service and emergency medical technicians were summoned and extinguished the fire, and the 3-year-old was discovered among the debris in the bedroom area, burnt beyond recognition. He was pronounced dead at 2:31 a.m. and his burnt remains were taken to the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home awaiting an autopsy. The origin of the fire is unknown, but investigations are ongoing. For AGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti ruled on Monday that the highly anticipated trial concerning alleged electoral irregularities in Guyana's 2020 general elections will restart. You'll find out more from Tiana Cole.
On Monday, Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti ruled in favor of the defense, allowing the election fraud case to commence afresh. This decision nullifies all prior rulings made by Senior Magistrate Leron Daly, who had presided over the case before going on extended medical leave in August 2024. The trial, which began on July 29, 2024, has faced multiple procedural delays, including Daly's absence. Her prolonged leave led to Magistrate Faith Magusti taking over the case. The defense, led by attorney Nigel Hughes, argued that a de novo or fresh start was essential for ensuring fairness. Hughes contended that decisions made by Magistrate Daly, such as the acceptance of not guilty pleas and the determination of whether charges should be tried summarily or indictably, should not bind Magistrate Magusti. Hughes, in a telephone interview with his newscast on Monday, said that the prosecution, which is being led by King's Counsel Darshan Ramdani, had put in submissions that in the event that the matter is being proceeded de novo, they would like it to be heard summarily.
We have opposed that application, and we have been given 1 week to put in our submissions in opposition to the prosecution's application.
King's Counsel Darshan Ramdani, representing the prosecution, opposed the defense arguments. He maintained that Daly's rulings were legally sound and binding. Ramdani also noted that the decision to restart proceedings under the de novo principle usually falls under the jurisdiction of a high court judge, not a magistrate. The charges stem from investigations into the March 2020 general and regional elections. Multiple former officials of the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, and others face allegations of attempting to rig the elections results. They are former APNU AFC Government Minister Valdo Lawrence, former GECOM Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, former GECOM Returning Officer for District 4, Clement Mingo, former GECOM Deputy Chief Election Officer Roxanne Myers, APNU AFC Chief Scrutineer Carol Smith Joseph, and former GECOM employees Sherfin February, Enrique Livon, Mitchell Miller, and Dennis Bob Cummins. They are collectively facing 19 conspiracy charges related to alleged electoral fraud. The prosecution has, among other things, indicated plans to call approximately 72 witnesses to substantiate the charges. Tianco reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Antonio Day now tells us that executive member of the Alliance for Change, Kemrad Ramjatan, has called for the resignation of Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal amid failure to act on the appointment of Guyana's substantive Chief Justice and Chancellor of the Judiciary.
Justice Yannick Cummins Edwards and Justice Roxanne George S.C. were respectively appointed Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary and Chief Justice back in 2017, weeks after the retirement of then Acting Chancellor Carl Singh, who was also never confirmed despite having served for 12 years. Guyana has not had a substantive Chief Justice since Justice Desiree Bernard was elevated to the post of Chancellor in 2001, and no substantive Chancellor since Justice Bernard stepped down from the bench here in 2005. In accordance with Article 128(1) of the Constitution, judges other than the Chancellor and Chief Justice are to be appointed by the President, who shall act in accordance with the advice of the Judicial Service Commission. At a press conference on Saturday held by the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Attorney General Anil Nandlal, when asked about the appointments of the Justices Cummins, Edwards, and George, gave this response.
That's a presidential decision, and the President will make that decision at the appropriate time. Executive
member of the Alliance for Change, Kemrad Ramjatan, however, raked the Attorney General over the coals amid this response and called for his resignation.
If in a very major matter like this, the Attorney General can't deal with the President of the day, then he should resign.
Ramjatan, also an attorney at law, said that the Attorney General is making excuses and is dilly-dallying with the situation.
Now, we don't have a solution to this one, obviously, because other people who are instructing him have literally instructed him to say exactly what he said there. Go ask the President.
Back in 2022, leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, had informed President Irfan Ali that he agreed to the confirmation of Justice Cummins Edwards and Justice George as Chancellor and Chief Justice, respectively. Norton, through the People's National Congress Reform, PNCR member, Attorney at Law Roy Silford, presented a letter to the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance. Gail Teixeira informed the government of the opposition's support for the appointment of the Chancellor and Chief Justice. Ramjatan said that he does not understand what is preventing the state from acting on this matter.
You get the CCJ head saying that these two persons are exceptionally good quality persons to appoint, and don't keep the thing hanging.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and heat.
Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice fill pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Ralph Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. We turn our attention now to news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. A state of emergency has been declared to specifically target the criminal elements in that country. You'll have more details in this report. Due to information of potential gang reprisal activity and heightened use of high-tech illegal weapons, the government of Trinidad and Tobago declared on Monday morning a state of emergency. At a news conference Monday morning in the Twin Island Republic, Acting Attorney General Stuart Young explained that the information filtered to the National Security Council by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service spells trouble for an already crime-stricken country.
That when considered as seriously as it would, dictated to us and mandated to us the necessity to take the action that we have now taken and to provide you, the public, with as much detail as we can, understanding it's a national security issue, and therefore there will be elements that we cannot provide specific details on. I'd like to provide you all with as much as we can.
The Acting Attorney General explained that there will be no curfew for now and that public gatherings, meetings and marches will not be affected, but powers of detaining, stop and searches, arrest without warrant, and 48-hour holding period will be implemented from the state of emergency regulations.
This state of emergency, I repeat, is being specifically targeted on the criminal elements and their use and their brazen acts, their use of illegal firearms and their brazen acts of violent criminal activity that are affecting not only the gangs, but also us, the law-abiding citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
There has been 61 homicides in December, with approximately 623 homicides for the year to date in Trinidad and Tobago. These figures are of great concern to the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
Was that certain criminal gangs, and I'll leave out the places where at this stage, but I can say throughout Trinidad and possibly Tobago, are likely to immediately increase their brazen acts of violence in reprisal shootings on a scale so extensive that it threatens persons and will endanger public safety.
The state of emergency will last for an initial 15 days. The government of Trinidad and Tobago will then go to Parliament seeking an extension of 3 months if necessary in accordance with the country's constitution. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Meanwhile, as the government of Trinidad and Tobago declared a state of public emergency amid the uncontrollable crime rate in the Twin Island Republic, Leader of the Opposition, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, has deemed this move a political gimmick due to the country's upcoming elections. Antonio Day has more.
On Monday, the government of Trinidad and Tobago declared a state of emergency known as SOE amid the country's escalated crime situation, with roughly 623 deaths for the year. Over the weekend, the nation was thrown into a state of mourning following the death of 5 men believed to be victims of reprisal shootings. During a press briefing held by the Ministry of National Security, Acting Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Stuart Young, expressed grave concern at the escalating situation.
Over the last month or so, and in fact building up to this, the government has been concerned about the use of high-powered illegal firearms, high-caliber firearms, including automatic weapons that unfortunately are scourged throughout the whole Caribbean region.
National Security Minister Fitzgerald Harris said that the measure for the country to emerge as a state of emergency in the wake of such circumstances would turn out beneficial in the long run.
We have to undertake certain sacrifices for the public and for the general good.
There are also questions regarding how the state of emergency would impact economic activities such as Carnival. Young gave this response.
One of the decisions taken was in the not having a curfew and in not preventing gatherings of people and movements of people. It would be silly of me to speculate or to try and predict what is going to happen over the next few weeks into the 3-month period. The government is going to continue monitoring it along with the law enforcement authorities.
Meanwhile, opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamal Prasad Bisesar, in a shared press statement with Nightly News said, and I quote, "This state of emergency was not called because of any genuine concern for the safety of citizens, but rather as a shameless act of political gimmickry to be used as propaganda for the upcoming general elections." End of quote. Statement continued, "I called for a state of emergency in January 2024, as I correctly predicted the failure to do so would result in a most murderous year. I was wrongly condemned by the Prime Minister and his political and business community supporters. Many lives could have been saved had they heeded any advice at the beginning of this year." End of quote. Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
After 3 years of delays, the government has finally unveiled the $528 million pump station in Andrews Region 2, a move that local farmers hope will improve drainage and irrigation. Carice Gonzalez will tell you more.
A new $528 million pump station was officially commissioned on Saturday in Andrews Region 2, primarily aimed at enhancing drainage and irrigation systems for local farmers. The facility is expected to play a key role in improving agricultural practices in the area. In his address, Zulfikar Mustafa, the Minister of Agriculture, hailed the development as a major achievement for both the region's agricultural industry and its broader economic growth.
Region 2 is an area that over 90% of the population depend on agriculture, with approximately 50,000, just under 50,000 residents, many of whom are engaged, as I said, in agriculture. This activity that we are conducting here this morning to commission this pump is an activity that will bring tremendous benefit to you.
Meanwhile, Lionel Wordsworth, chairman of the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, NDIA, explained that a recent survey of the region's drainage infrastructure highlighted the need for additional drainage systems to support the growing demands of local agriculture activities.
With the expansion of agriculture in this area, close to about 10,000 acres in the catchment serviced by this facility, we would have evaluated it, and the analysis yielded results that show we need additional capacity to drain this area more effectively.
Construction of the new pump station, which began in September 2021, has now reached completion. The facility is designed to regulate the flow of water from nearby rivers into surrounding villages, providing farmers with better control over water management for their crops. The station is equipped with 2 high-capacity pumps, each capable of discharging 100 kilofeet of water per second. Powered by solar energy, this system can efficiently maintain drainage levels and discharge water into the ocean, ensuring optimal conditions for farming. Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
Back on the police's blotter, after trying to escape from the police, a 30-year-old taxi driver was caught with 163 pounds of marijuana on Sunday, while a truck driver in Lethem was stung to death by Africanized bees. Daisy Richards will tell you more.
The taxi driver is identified as Jeremiah Clark of Section B, Patterson, East Coast, Demerara. He was arrested on Sunday at 15:30 hours after being found with 163 pounds of marijuana. The police at Weldat Police Station were conducting a stop-and-search exercise when they stopped Clark and signaled for him to pull over his vehicle. The police claimed that he was acting in a suspicious manner and a high scent was coming from his vehicle. Instead of following police instructions, Clark sped off and the police gave chase and contacted the Maikoni Police Station, who established a stop point at Calcutta Public Road where the car was intercepted. A search was conducted in 5 large black garbage bags containing leaves, seeds, and stems the police suspected to be cannabis were revealed. He later identified himself and was informed of the offense he committed and admitted to owning the drugs, claiming that he was behind on his car installment and was trying to make some extra money. He was then escorted to the Maikoni police station, where the cannabis was weighed in his presence and amounted to 73.936 kilograms. Clark is currently in custody as investigations continue. Meanwhile, a truck driver from Central Lethem was attacked and killed by a swarm of bees at 11:30 hours on Sunday. Daniel Darrell was traveling with his 13-year-old son on a motorcycle and were attacked by a swarm of African bees. They both fell to the ground and his son managed to run to safety, while his father was stung until he laid motionless on the ground. The son was rescued by a minibus driver and rushed to the Lethem Regional Hospital, where he remains hospitalized in a serious condition. A medical team was dispatched to the scene and Darrell was pronounced dead at 13:34 hours. His body was escorted to the Lethem Hospital mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Daisy, for your reporting. Stay with us. There's more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Over 300 tons of steel are being fabricated here in Guyana for the Jaguar Floating Production, Storage and Offloading Vessel, FPSO. Industrial Fabrications Incorporated, INFAB, Guyana Oil and Gas Support Services Incorporated, GOGSI, and GECOM Group of Services are leading the charge, showcasing the skills and capacity of local talent. This project is a local content win, demonstrating the strength of Guyana's industrial capabilities.
These nice products I cook with proper things. Peppies, you get the best and least. Oh no, bless up.
Okay. Pack up these things. Yellow. Yeah, put the things in the car.
Loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do-da-do-da-do. I love you and you and you and you and you. I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you. I love Peppies.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. The government of Guyana has terminated several contracts and imposed penalties amounting to $4 billion in liquidated damages for contractual breaches. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Alain Landalal made this disclosure during his end-of-year press conference over the weekend. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Speaking at press conference, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Alain Landalal emphasized government's commitment to ensuring accountability in the execution of public projects.
Dozens of contracts have been terminated.
According to Landalal, the government has begun imposing liquidated damages for breaches such as shoddy workmanship and unjustified delays. Liquidated damages are provisions in contracts that stipulate payments for specific breaches.
Over $4 billion of liquidated damages have been imposed on different contractors.
Earlier this year, President Ali expressed frustration with contractors and government workers whose inefficiencies hinder the timely completion of national projects. During a November 12, 2024 meeting at State House, the head of state issued a stern warning to contractors failing to meet their deadlines.
All the projects that were supposed to be completed by the end of this year, and by the end of this year they're not completed or they're more than 4 months in excess, Once there is no justifiable extension, they'll be terminated.
The president stressed that contractors who fail to deliver on their commitments will face severe consequences, including liquidated damages, blacklisting, and further accountability measures.
Contracting and putting in a bid is serious business. Because when you don't complete the work, you're holding up an entire nation.
Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Local artist Shannon Roach, known by his stage name, So Hype, has emerged the winner of HGP TV's highly competitive Red Room competition.
So come walk with me, come feel the Guyanese breeze. Yeah, I want you to walk with me. Yeah.
That was Shannon Roach, better known by his stage name, So Hype, the winner of HGP TV's Red Room competition, speaking during a sit-down interview on Monday. The young artist who hails from Beefield Sophia shared insights into his journey, the preparation process, and what motivated him to take part in the competition.
I never really get confidence to perform on stage. So I took up the Red Room competition as something to help me practice stage performance. For each round, it's just usually be me in the studio playing the rhythm over and over again, trying to see how best I could get me vocals for song, like out of my comfort zone.
As the youngest participant in the competition, So Hype admitted to feeling intimidated at times. However, he revealed that the support he got from his family and friends helped him push through moments of doubt. Despite not initially believing he could win, their encouragement kept him going.
I pushed through and I could have just given up, but I did not, because I still wanted to learn more from the judges. Big help. The judges was so much help.
So Hype reflected on how the competition changed his perspective, especially in terms of taking risks and stepping outside his comfort zone. He acknowledged that the experience opened up new opportunities for growth, allowing him to explore areas where he once might have previously expressed some inner limitations to himself.
So much. Never see myself rapping, never see myself singing loud, using up my energy for fix me vocals into like this perfect. And I never really do that. I always used to stay to this mellow type, but this show took me out to that end.
Looking to the future, So Hype expressed his excitement about exploring new avenues in his career. He is eager to expand his reach and gain exposure, using the Red Room competition as a stepping stone to take his talents to a larger audience. Meanwhile, Brian Gonzalez, co-founder of One Time Record, a label with over 6 years of experience, praised the young talents who participated in the Red Room competition. So Hype, along with fellow contestant Tonya GY, are part of the One Time Records team. Brian spoke highly of their dedication and hard work throughout the competition, noting how far they've come.
So Hype is very talented, not just in music, but he's also a dancer. An artist. He could paint, he build beats, he do everything. So I could basically do everything on his own. I like to give him his credit for that. We also have Tonya GY, is my family, is my little cousin. I've seen him grow tremendous same way, and it's wonderful.
The live auditions for the Red Room event began in October, and 2 months of intense competition. The finals concluded on December 22, 2024. A total of 12 participants entered the contest, and after multiple rounds, the competition narrowed down to 3 finalists: So Hype, Trey Reason, and Zan the Dragon. The final results were a close call, just a 5% difference between the top 3 contestants. So Hype's victory earned him the grand prize, which includes a $200,000 cash reward, a 4K music video, PR packages, and other prizes. The young artist's win marks a significant milestone in his career, setting the stage for even greater accomplishments in the music industry. Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 2, 2025 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027-829 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we've got the most wonderful deals. Get the perfect gift from Digicel. Grab the Samsung A05 for just $17,900, the A25 for $37,900, or treat yourself to the S24 Ultra for only $205,000. And that's not all. Every phone comes with a free 30-day data plan. Don't wait. These holiday savings won't last forever. Visit your nearest Digicel store today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
The Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 2, 2025 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you'll be 18 years or over by December 31, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document, birth certificate and a deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate for a correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, 15th January 2025. For further information, contact GECOM at 225-027-829 or visit our website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is now under a state of emergency. The government made the announcement on Monday. According to a release, the state of emergency has been declared due to, quote, heightened criminal activity which endangers public safety, unquote. The country recorded another multiple murder Sunday evening, where at least 3 people were killed in a Prescar Lands Lamentel. The murder toll is already the highest it has ever been, well over 600. The last time a state of emergency was declared was in May 2021 as a means of curbing the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. The state of emergency ended in November 2021. Before that, the People's Partnership government had declared a state of emergency in 2011 due to the crime situation. The exact parameters of the state of emergency, such as curfew hours, have not yet been released. The full release states, pursuant to Section 8 of the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Her Excellency Christine Carla Kangaloo, ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and Commander-in-Chief, has, on the advice of Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, declared a state of public emergency, being satisfied by the circumstances of Section 8(2)(c) of the Constitution exist. The circumstances warranting the declaration of the public emergency are based on the advice of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to the National Security Council regarding heightened criminal activity which endangers public safety. More news from Trinidad and Tobago. 5 people were gunned down in Laventel overnight. They have been identified as Cleon Lugin, 37, Derang Kalis, 35, Kamban Omawali, 39, Garrett Smart, and Ryan Lessie, 24. Lessie died at the scene of the shooting at Prescar Islands in Laventel. The others died while undergoing treatment at the Port of Spain General Hospital. Within hours of the killings, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley authorized the declaration of a state of emergency. Leslie, Calist, Logan, and Omawali were all of Prescar lands. Smart is from Tom and Science Street in Laventel. Police were told that about 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, a group of men were liming near the St. John's shop along Prescar Land Circular, where a blue Hyundai Elantra and a white Nissan AD wagon pulled up. A group of gunmen exited the vehicles. Before the group could react, the suspects opened fire, hitting 6. There was only one survivor, 24-year-old, who was shot to the upper left arm. The suspects then returned to the vehicles and drove away. The police were notified and a team of officers from the Port of Spain Division as well as the Homicide Bureau responded. Police suspect that the killing is linked to Saturday's fatal shooting of Trevor Williams outside of the Besson Street Police Station. Now for some international news. A passenger plane skidded off a runway at a South Korean airport Sunday, slammed into a concrete fence and burst into flames after its front landing gear apparently failed to deploy. All but 2 of the 181 people on board died in one of the country's worst aviation disasters. The Jeju airplane crashed while landing in the town of Muan, about 290 kilometers south of Seoul. The Transport Ministry said the plane was a 15-year-old Boeing jet that had arrived from Bangkok and that the crash happened at 9:03 a.m. A total of 179 people, 85 women, 84 men, and 10 others, whose genders weren't immediately identifiable, died in the fire, the South Korean Fire Agency said. Emergency workers pulled 2 people, both crew members, to safety. Health officials said they are conscious and not in a life-threatening condition. Among the 177 bodies so far found, officials have so far identified 88 of them, the fire agency said. The passengers were predominantly South Korean as well as 2 Thai nationals. Jo Wong, director of the Iwa Women's University Seoul Hospital, where one of the survivors were hospitalized, said the man was being treated in an intensive care unit for fractures to his ribs, shoulder blade, and upper spine. Ju said the man, whose name wasn't released, told doctors he woke up to find himself rescued. Footage of the crash aired by South Korean television channels showed the plane skidding across the airstrip at high speed, apparently with its landing gear still closed, overrunning the runway and colliding head-on with a concrete wall on the outskirts of the facility, triggering an explosion. Other local TV stations aired footage showing thick plumes of black smoke billowing from the plane, which was engulfed in flames. Thank you for watching. Do have a productive week. Until next time.
Early morning Albouystown fire claims the life of 3-year-old boy. Chief Magistrate rules restart of election fraud case. Ramjatan calls on AG to resign amid failure to appoint substantive CJ and Chancellor of the Judiciary. And state of emergency declared in Trinidad and Tobago. Government informed of gang reprisal threat. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.